Hello, it's Sunday evening, and that means that it's time for me to read another book as part of Kareem Neal's Black History Project. The book that I'm going to read this evening is very special to me for a number of reasons. First, it is special to me because it is written in both English and Spanish, which meant that when I was a librarian in my school, I had a book that my Spanish-speaking children could read in their own language. Second, because the illustrations for this book come from a mural in the Bronx in New York City. And that mural was directed by my cousin, Joe Matunis, who is an art teacher in Brooklyn, New York, and is also a muralist who has done many murals throughout New York City. But this mural was done with children. And so Joe led the direction of the creation of the mural with a group of children, and you will see them in this book. And then it is special to me because it deals with a topic that no child should ever have to think about or face, let alone live: homelessness. The children who created this mural with Joe at one point were homeless. And this book is a story of how they became homeless no more. So let's read this book, This Home We Have Made. And I'm going to have to put my glasses on for this one. One night, while my mother and brother were asleep under a stairway, I crept out to look at the stars. The stars always made me feel better. I didn't have a home like the other kids, but at least I was close to the stars. Suddenly, I heard the wheels of a wagon on the street and a voice calling out to me, "Hey, what are you doing there?" I turned and saw a man driving a cart with a building on it, the kind of building I had always wanted to live in. Maybe he had dropped out of the sky, out of one of the stars. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, I had never seen him before. And I'd certainly never seen anything like the green animal pulling the cart. You can see the green animal here. "Climb up and join our building parade," said two children sitting next to the man. I didn't know what a building parade was, but it looked exciting, and they all looked so hopeful that I decided to go along. In the shadow of the wagon, an eerie, green-faced man danced and twirled in the moonlight, and even though he was a little scary, I liked him. He made me feel as if something big was about to happen. You can see the man here. As we went along, I saw some shadows dancing playfully against the side of a building. They looked like people playing musical instruments, yet I heard no sound. As the shadows disappeared, I saw a whole crowd of animals: a big owl, a cockroach playing a guitar, a cat, a coxcomb saxophonist, even a caterpillar wearing a crown. They were leading the parade and making loud music. And here you see them. Above the racket, I heard the cockroach singing a song, and I found myself joining in, as if I already knew the tune. If I could find a place to stay, I wouldn't dance around this way. I'd just settle myself right down. I was still humming it when a fat red tree floated by. A crimson bird was watching over a baby sleeping in another tree. He looked so peaceful, too young to know he had no home. He didn't even seem to hear the passing parade. We moved on and soon came to a busy neighborhood. I looked up onto the rooftops and saw 3 horn players, a man with a drum and someone with cymbals. And a little farther on, a boy reading a book and a woman playing a horn. Here's the boy reading the book and the woman playing the horn. Next door was a little girl like me, being hugged by her mother, and down below a boy was helping his friend. I wondered, why didn't I have a building of my own as they did? And I felt angry, and I felt sad. But just then I heard clickety-clack and turned to see a clown striding along on stilt legs. Way above his head, he carried a box as if it were a prize. As he reached up toward the rooftops, I saw that the box was the building that we had been carrying on our cart. Maybe it was meant as a home for me and the other children in the parade. The clown passed the building to a person way up in the air. She looked like my mother, but she was dressed all in green. She passed the building to another person, also dressed in green, then to another and another. They each had many arms and they were working very hard. It was morning now. The sky was pinkish blue, and the stars had faded into the wings of angels. 2 angels were waiting for the building, our building. The last person handed it to one of them, and she tucked it safely into a snowy globe held in her right hand. Inside the globe, the building started to take shape. Now it had an awning, and in the window, you could see color and movement. Something was about to happen. The angels spoke. This is your home. You have carried it far. Many have helped. You know who you are. Take it and place it right here on the ground. And the angels handed us the building, the 2 children and me. Some neighbors came to help. Gently, carefully, we lowered it onto the street, and it felt strong and solid and good. I heard the parade slowly move away. And here's the building. This is where we live now, where we eat toast and brush our teeth and study for school. Here, in this home, we have made. This is where we sit and look out the window at the birds on the lamppost. They warm in their feathers, and we warm in our home. And I'm going to fold out the pages so that you can see the whole mural. And you can see in the mural, different pieces of the mural were the pictures in the book. The site of the mural, it stands 46 feet long and 10 feet high. And I'm going to read a note about the art. The images in this book are taken from a community mural painted in New York City's South Bronx in the summer of 1991. A community mural is created by artists working side by side with members of a community. The result is a work of art that represents the ideas and the concerns of the residents of the community. The group we worked with was made up primarily of formerly homeless children who were living with their families in the building on which the mural is painted. With great energy and enthusiasm, children ages 4 through 15 made hundreds of drawings over a 6-week period. These ranged from monsters within monsters to trumpeting angels. The design for the mural evolved from these celebratory and surreal images, from conversations with the children about their hopes, their pasts, and their living situations. It became clear that the mood of the mural would be lively and positive, as the tenants of the building and the staff of the host organization had hoped. The excitement of the young muralists was palpable by the time we were ready to begin painting. The idea that a large blank wall would be painted by and for them became very real when they saw their ideas, images, and portraits forming the mural's design. We primed the wall, put up a grid, transferred the design, and started to paint. Community murals are a powerful public art form. In creating them, people who might not necessarily spend time together, even though they might live next door to one another, find themselves working side by side. Together, they bring color and form to a previously blank wall, transforming it into something alive and meaningful. The end product belongs to everyone who participated and serves as a reminder of the good things that can happen when people work together continuously over a period of time. And here is a picture of the children who painted the mural. And in the center, you can see my cousin Joe. The text for this book was written by Anna Hammond, and again, the illustrations were by Joe Matunis. I hope that you enjoyed this book, and I'll see you next week.